Sometimes in my head I'm like, see this boy, this boy that I knew when he was born. This boy I knew when he was born. For a fact, I named him his name. That's the thing. When he was born, I carried him, raised him, and then I just made a pronouncement, Nonye. That was how his name came about. And then I'm like, see this small boy, we be saying, I be carry you, name you.
Yeah, I'm Nonye Nobis. I'm the managing director of Emeka Nobis Real Estate, a real estate company with branches in Owerri, Port Harcourt, and Asaba.
So my name is Emeka Nobis. I'm a writer, I'm a consultant, and I'm the director of Emeka Nobis Real Estate Limited.
I was into mining. I did mining for some years, but as I graduated from university, I did mining for almost 7 years. I also tried my hand in agriculture before I settled into real estate.
Before now, I studied mechanical engineering and I worked in an oil servicing company for 10 years before I resigned. And what I do, my life is about writing. I write, I'm an author of books, I speak at events, seminars, and conferences. I do consulting for businesses. And then real estate, where I'm the director of Emeka Nobis Real Estate Limited. So my life is still continuing. It hasn't stopped. Real estate is a part of my portfolio of business, so that's it.
Okay, like I said, I started from mining, so I wanted an industry that I had a kind of opportunity, a better opportunity. So I've always remembered that my dad had some properties, but he has used that for agriculture for many years. So at some point, I felt that it was a good asset to start off real estate. So and then I've also always had the interest to go into real estate. Like I said, I was really into mining, and when the opportunity came up, and I had a conversation with my dad, and he agreed to release the property, and that was it. Then on the other hand, I also felt real estate would be an opportunity for me in particular, to really contribute to the economy and then provide a lot of jobs for people. I felt when I was leaving mining, the company was winding down. I felt so bad that some of the staff had to go, but now I feel happy that people are also gaining their jobs through what we have started in Emeka Nobis. So yeah. Tough. I came into real estate with little or no knowledge. I knew that I just had some friends that I had to confide in. It was tough trying to get the rudiments of how to start. But I think with my experience in my previous businesses, I was really used to taking risks. So I just said, let me just start. Initially, I wanted to start off with partnerships. Along the line, I realized it was something that over time that I would learn it. So it was tough trying to get the first staff, the first office. I didn't know how to recruit realtors. We didn't even understand the kind of people that we needed to, start off sales, start off the planning and all that. But somehow we were able to gather a team of professionals that guided us in the arm of sales, marketing, operations, relationship with government, and then when people saw that it was coming off well, it started coming together. So it was difficult, but somehow we overcame all the hurdles.
Okay, if you look at the real estate market, it looks like as if it's something that everybody now wants to delve into. If you look at the conversations around town, the narrative is that is a new oil well, but it's been like that over the years. For decades, as long as man has existed, real estate has been there. As long as everybody needs a home to put his head at the end of the day, real estate has been there. But it looks like, with Nigeria, when something is shot into the limelight and people see that's something where a lot of people make money from, then they begin to term it as an oil well because the narrative is that oil well is synonymous to making a lot of money. Well, Nigeria is a nation where the existence of the good and bad is like a source of prosperity for a lot of individuals. I mean, if you go around the world or even outside of Nigeria, for you to be able to start out a real estate company, not even that, to be a realtor, there are requisite learning and knowledge that you have to have. You have to go through training, the government has to certify you, and a whole lot of things before you even begin to call yourself a realtor outside of Nigeria. But I mean, with the state of things in the nation, people can start out and call themselves realtors as long as you can close the deal. In this sector, there's a lot of things that are happening that are not okay because of the state of things. Individuals are not qualified to get into the business, and they do all sorts of unprintable things, collectibles money, reselling lands. So somebody buys land, somebody else goes there, buys the same property. The third person goes buys the same property. So three people are now fighting over a plot of land, and so a lot of things that people who are not qualified, let me use the word learned, uneducated, do in the industry. As much as I can say that industry is a good place where a lot of individuals can grow wealth, what we are looking at in the company is to do things right. We have this thing of saying that we want to do real estate intelligently and right. So some of the gaps are that we need a lot of knowledge. We are positioning our company in such a way that we will be a brand where individuals will come to learn the right kinds of things that have to do with real estate and pump their chest to say that I've learned from this company, now I can do real estate intelligently. That is our bearing, that is our vision, and that's what we've set out to do. So, closing the gaps on a lot of individuals doing all sorts of imprintable things, where investors cry, where those who buy properties cry, where learned realtors do a lot of things just to be able to sell properties and make money for themselves. These are the gaps that we're going to be closing. And we're looking at, collaborating with the government to be like a certifying body for those who want to get into real estate, to do real estate intelligently. So that's what we are. It's a long journey, it's a far journey off, but we're trying to gradually, step by step, and we're getting there.
We started with the Occupy Renewable project here in Imo State. That was our first estate. We called it Green Palms because it had this outlook of a lush greenery, had that scenario of a green environment. So we called it Green Palms. Then we came up with the next project, Bold Residential at Moakane, also in Imo State. So it was an estate that had a lot of prospects because of a lot of companies were going there, and we felt that it was a good place for. The name Volt meant something that had a lot of value hidden. So we called it Volt, and we successfully concluded that project. Then we went to Glory Heights. That was the third project that we undertook. And from there, we expanded into River State, Port Harcourt, set up two projects there, Jet Court and Stairview. And then we also expanded into Asaba, and we started another project there called Evergreen Estates. Two more projects are coming in the cover, probably within the next 30 to 60 days. We'll launch two more projects. But right now, we're trying to consolidate on the properties, on the projects that we've already started. Consolidation in terms of development, doing more development works on those projects, completing we've started some of them, completing the perimeter fence, the gating, and starting up prototype buildings in those estates. Then we're also trying to build our knowledge base. So now we're investing in an academy that will do a lot of research, because we noticed that a lot of people, the interest more in the industry is just to, as much as possible, make amass wealth, but nobody really wants to invest in how to get knowledge, know how to be better and all that. So we started that academy that will enable us research and also teach, and then help us also groom professionals that will help, because we noticed that part of the problem we have is you have these projects, then you don't have people that communicate them well, they keep the questions that they give the clients, the answers that they give the clients. Sometimes some of them are inconclusive, some of them are outright false. So uh, so that's what the academy is trying to, that's the gap the academy is trying to fill up for us. Then after this, we would also go into, we'll start up our construction plan, but that will be first quarter of 2025. We'll start up some construction jobs. But now we're still focusing on our existing projects, like I said.
Oh, well, I think as my brother said, he has really, we like to take things step by step. So, two things that are in our head right now. More things will come, as the journey progresses, a lot more things will be coming to our head. But the two things that are ahead, as I said now, we delve into construction. So, we are going to be doing construction. One of the things that we're going to be looking at is to have like in my own head is to have like a place where selected group of individuals will reside. So what we mean by that, maybe people who are about to retire or those who just want to have a community of theirs where they can go and live and everything will be in there, there'll be supermarket, there'll be malls, there'll be schools, they're just there. And it's like an exclusive community. So that would be under construction. So we build and construct such things like that. And then other kind of buildings that we're going to be looking at, maybe high rise. We are yet to, but that's part of our vision, to build residential buildings, commercial buildings. And then secondly, to truly become a knowledge organization, because trust me, everything rises and falls upon leadership, and we want to provide that leadership. Leadership is about taking individuals on a journey to a particular kind of destination. And we can only build, I mean, it's biblical, right? People perish because of lack of knowledge. It's biblical, it's in the Bible. So we want to establish our organization to be a citadel of knowledge where people come to gain the requisite knowledge. There'll be research, there'll be reading of papers, blueprints, and a whole lot of research papers that we're doing concerning real estate. So these are the two projects actually, futuristic projects we are actually working on. But as I said, as we keep building, right, more ideas, more ideologies that we're going to be working on, and then we will continue communicating via this kind of channel to the people who love us, those who are part of our community, those who are, our investors and our clientele.
It's a very tough question, but I think, first of all, I'll give credit to our parents. They inculcated early enough the values of mutual respect. Um, so that has always been the basis. Then understanding that it's work, it's business that is being done. So from the get-go, we cleared out expectations and compensations, what each person is supposed to bring to the table and what each person is supposed to take out, take from the table. And then everything was documented and discussed. Then we also realized, we also tried to respect each other's opinion, irrespective of the relationship as the age difference. So we don't take it as okay, maybe a brother that is giving a point or is making a point. So we try as much as possible to take it as okay, this is the director speaking of the company. So mutual respect has always been the foundation. Okay, and then I think more than that is also the vision. So we don't, with our eye on the vision, we don't allow our personal, what I can call shenanigans to, kind of blind us or take us away from the vision. So whenever we are trying to have a conversation and then there are arguments, at the end of the day, we're trying to, what we're after is not who wins the argument or who makes a better point, but we're looking at, okay, what you are saying, how does it help us achieve the vision that we set for the company? So most times we remind ourselves of the vision, okay, this is what we are pursuing now, we want to get this number of realtors, want to get this number of investments, want to get this number of projects, what the project needs. Then another thing that's also helped us is wealth of experience. So I, coming from the background of business, like I said, I've done a couple of businesses before now. Then my brother, having done a lot of research already on how businesses are supposed to be done. I mean, it is already a teacher. It teaches people how to do these things. So it was clear, most of the actions were clear, the results were clear. So there was no need to say, oh, you said this or this person said that. So yeah, that's what has helped. So mutual respect, experience, how companies are supposed to be done, are supposed to run. And then of course, family values, it has been inculcated in us right from childhood. So that's it.
On my own part, I can say number one is that we play according to our strengths. So I'm going to explain what I mean by that. So number one, Nonye, when it comes to tech issues, I'm more knowledgeable when it comes to tech issues. So he defers to me when it has to do with tech issues. When it comes to operations, he handles operations, moving around, because my life, I've been more academic in nature. So I feel that human beings are supposed to behave in certain ways. And so when I go to the bush and I see human beings behaving like animals, it gets me crazy. So he understands how to deal with those kind of individuals, how to calm them and all that. For me, I'd like people to be idealistic in their behavior. So when it comes to tech and the knowledge part, I mean, somebody looked at me one day and said, okay, I say they go bush. I said, yeah, they go bush. Then my brother, they go bush. So I focus on the tech part, the knowledge part, and that's complementary. And then secondly, he's more of the giving type, right? So Nonye can easily, somebody can come and tell him, I need 1 million naira now, I'm dying. And he gives the 1 million naira immediately, not even thinking whether the person said the truth or whether he didn't say the truth. Well, that's his nature. He has been like that right from childhood. But me, I'm more analytical.
Is both of us, is anyone? Is anyone? I crack a lot of jokes, but
I thought the way wants to be fun.
Before the way wants to be funny. So yeah, I try to crack jokes to make people be calm and to accept what I am trying to say. Because there's this feeling of the boss is around, that kind of stuff. So most times you see me throwing jabs at people, to make them come to drop their guard and then to be able to accept the message. But I think our parents raised us to be really a serious type. So not just go around throwing jokes around, basically. So I don't know. I can't really say who's funny actually.
Sometimes in my head I'm like, see this boy, this boy that I knew when he was born. This boy I knew when he was born. For a fact, I named him his name. That's the thing. When he was born, I carried him, raised him, and then I just made a pronouncement. That was how his name came about. And then I'm like, see this small boy, will be saying, I be carry you, name you, But then I need to realize, I check myself and realize, yeah, even though I'm older, but then this is a business we're running. We have to have multiple angles to look at issues. Initially, at the beginning, he used to always say, you are slow, you are slow, you are slow. And then I would laugh, and then I used to get angry in my head, but I wouldn't even voice it. You are slow, that he wants me to break the doors, go and... But with time, he has come to see the essence of, would I say age or experience over the years, and the wisdom. So sometimes he wants to take a decision. I know that the decision, when he takes it, he will still come back to what I said. And it has happened twice. And so now he doesn't say I'm slow anymore. He has seen how my analytical part is helping us, in shaping certain decisions. So he doesn't use that word anymore. It's all about now, okay, this thing, how do we approach this? How do we look at this and all that? And then, we are moving on. Does it mean we will not fight in the future? I don't know yet. It's possible. Maybe when we start grabbing at bigger visions and our personalities are also coming into play. We fight, but the fight is not about blowing each other's mouth. It's about the fact that there's a class of ideologies. This is how we ought to work. Because you need to realize that when people are fighting and saying that this has to work this way, they're not necessarily, it's not really an ego thing. It's the fact that this is an organism that you want it to survive. It's like doctors in a theater, wanting someone to survive. Do you get what I mean? They want this organism, this human being to survive. They may argue and say this is how it ought to be, even though I know that they don't really need to be arguing it yet. But when you see these individuals fighting, it's not really about sometimes the personal gains, but the fact that this organism has to survive. And that's why they are heads, they're fighting to make sure that there's health, there's air, there's abundance of things that will make the company to thrive. So that's it.